We are ready for Josephine to begin. Josephine, the stage is yours. Thank you for joining us for the GameChanger Awards. Family Values at Work's Executive Director, Josephine, the stage is yours.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this year's 2022 Game Changers Awards. And I am so excited that you all are with me today, and I hope you brought your celebration spirit because, after all, today is a celebration. I'm excited to highlight the monumental progress of our network, of our partners, and all the work that we've accomplished together. And I know the road ahead for work continues, but today we celebrate. As noted, my name is Josephine Calapenny. I'm the Executive Director of Family Values at Work. We are a national network made up of incredible partners that are doing incredible work across 27 states, and we're growing, so I hope you join us. Tonight is an incredible moment for us to celebrate. So let's talk about what's going to happen. First of all, we're going to have a big party with good music, incredible spoken words. I hope you stay with us for the entire celebration. We are also honoring 6 awardees today, and the categories include policy champions, labor, culture change, business, workers, and communities. And some of my favorites are featured in this year's Game Changer Awards. We'll also enjoy written word performances from Gabrielle with Speak It Forward and Linda Law, which you all I know are going to enjoy. I also just want to take a moment to thank our incredible staff who work tirelessly every day to continue to lean into our values, and to celebrate partnership in the truest sense of the word. I also want to thank our incredible network. Without you all, we would be nothing. And the sponsors for making today possible. As I saw some of the ads scroll across the screen at the beginning, and I thought, I hope I don't start this in tears. Now, how it ends is a whole other thing. So, thank you to the staff, to our network, and to our incredible sponsors. And there are folks that are also working behind the scenes to make this event incredible and to make this event beautiful. And so we thank those folks too, whose work often goes unseen and unnamed. Okay, I can't wait to celebrate alongside you all today. So let's get right to it. We're going to start with our incredible MC, and please be sure to check out whatever glasses she's rocking today. Erica Clemens Dean, it will be our incredible MC for today, who will be revealing and introducing our awardees. So, Erica, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning into this year's Game Changer Awards. I'm Erica Clemens Dean, and I serve as the Advocacy and Program Director for Family Values at Work. I am so excited to be with you all today because this is our Grammys. We get the opportunity to honor and uplift the work from some amazing leaders and organizations. I will be serving as honorary MC for today's event and will be introducing our awardees. Our 6 categories for the Game Changer Awards are public policy, labor, cultural, business, workers, and community. To begin, it is my pleasure to acknowledge this year's policy champion, the OASIS design team. The original design team included Representative Park Cannon from Georgia, Representative Liana Kassar from Rhode Island, Senator Erica Geis from Michigan, Renee Kubiatis from New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, Sarah Labadie from Women Employed, Illinois, Neha Mahajan from Transformational Leadership for Change in Colorado, Ashley Pinelli with 9 to 5 Action Fund, New York, Representative Julie Von Hafen from North Carolina, and Aisha Wells, Mother and Justice, Michigan. OASIS is a newly launched cohort-based program of family values at work for women elects and state legislators. OASIS provides a protected space and supportive network for women elected leaders to build the resilience necessary to effectively lead and co-create a society that works for all people. OASIS gathers women together for relationship building, educational workshops, and sessions to develop the tools, practices, adaptive skills, and community to effectively legislate and grow political power. Please join me in congratulating the entire OASIS team as they continue to change the game for state legislators across the country. Now enjoy this brief video with more information about OASIS as we celebrate the design team that made this possible.
It is an honor for the new Institute OASIS design team to be chosen as the policy champion for this year's GameChanger Awards. The design team was a group of progressive women state legislators and advocacy leaders who came together first and foremost to innovate, to keep our champions healthy and resilient and assist them on their leadership path. The design team members were Representative Park Cannon of Georgia, Representative Liana Kassar of Rhode Island, Senator Erica Geis of Michigan, Renee Kubiadis of the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, Sarah Labadie of Women Employed, Neha Mahajan of Transformational Leadership for Change, Ashley Pinelli of 9 to 5 Action Fund, and Representative Julie Von Hafen of North Carolina, and Aisha Wells of Mothering Justice. Across the country, we are electing more women of color, LGBTQ+ individuals, and non-binary folks who champion equity and justice policy agendas. These legislators use their voices and their votes to support legislation like paid family leave, pay equity policies, and to champion reproductive rights while dedicating tremendous effort to make our states more democratic and just. That's the good news. The news that's not so good is that the people we elect are facing an uphill battle without adequate support. Whether they're in the majority or the minority in their chambers, they face barriers to resources, they face barriers to power, and nearly all of them face challenging work conditions inside and outside of their chambers. At the very time when we need progressive women to have and exercise power and influence, the environments where they work continue to limit them. The limits they face impact what they can accomplish and how long they can stay in office. Spurred by former Family Values at Work team member and former Rhode Island Senator Gail Golden, and informed by conversations with 24 legislators and thought leaders, the design team convened virtually for 5 months in early 2022, and for one powerful in-person weekend retreat, all facilitated by Robin Ketcher and Nia Niamwea of Ketcher Consulting. The design team's work resulted in a commitment to developing an oasis for progressive women in state legislatures, with a focus on individuals who've traditionally been excluded from power. Oasis will include people with a range of gender expressions, a range of cultural and sexual identities, as well as people with a range of physical abilities who align with the values of equity, justice, and inclusion. In this oasis, legislators will build transformational relationships, receive necessary support, and develop the individual and collective power needed to effect change. With deliberate and thoughtful work and plenty of open and challenging discussions, the design team created an inclusive and justice-centered strategic framework with images captured beautifully by visual recorder Kristen Egan. The team agreed the pilot offerings should kick off with a cohort of individuals elected in November 2022. OASIS's pilot cohort of 15 to 20 legislators will be provided in-person and virtual programs and support in 3 key leadership development areas: developing and maintaining resilience, developing and growing power and influence, building coalition and caucuses to develop collective power. With every conversation with partners and members of the Family Values at Work network, the purpose of OASIS is affirmed as folks realize that it is a game-changing idea to support those most marginalized in our state legislatures so that they may feel less isolated and better able to affect change. The work of the design team set the foundation for a very exciting venture ahead, And we're grateful to Family Values at Work for investing the time and resources to bring this vision to its next step of fruition, as well as for this recognition of the work.
Welcome back, y'all. Congratulations once again to the Oasis design team for leading such impactful and game-changing work. For our second award of the day, we'd like to honor game-changing efforts within the labor movement. This year, it is my honor to recognize the North America's Building Trades Unions, NABTU, Trades Women's Committee. We are so happy to recognize NABTU's Trades Women's Committee and their amazing work this year, setting a high bar for making childcare accessible for the workers and members in their union with their new childcare pilot program.
I wish to tell everybody how thrilled I am to accept this award on behalf of NABTU on the Family Values Game Changers. It's not often that you get recognized for the work of my entire staff, of our Women's Committee, who just rocks as we try to deal with problems in our industry, specifically when it comes to people who are required to take care of the child care in their family. Mostly women, but plenty of men too. And in the construction industry, different than other industries, it's a little more difficult. And coming through COVID, it really shined a light on what we needed to do. We've doubled the number of women in our unions over the last 10 years. We have lots and lots of room to grow with women coming into our trades. But this is a problem that we have to figure out, not only as NABTU and groups like this, but as a country. So we're proud of the fact that we put the work in. We've come up with a couple pilots. We're going in the field in New York, in Milwaukee, to beta test, see how we do. We're doing all this through our Trades Futures program, which houses our apprenticeship readiness programs and special programs like our child care pilots. And as you know, these things are not inexpensive. So we're constantly trying to raise money, raise the bar, attract more women specifically into our construction trades. And the work of the Women's Committee, my team here putting this together with our colleagues in Milwaukee and New York, and we're excited to see how it works. And then we're excited to see what we can do together to go forward in the construction industry, an industry that may start at 5 a.m. and you might have a concrete pour where you can't leave the job site till 7 or 7:30 at night. So extra difficult circumstances for quality childcare. But we're up to the challenge. We're putting in the effort. And it's so nice on behalf of my 14 affiliated international unions who have totally supported this initiative, of the 3 million members across North America, that we get recognized. It doesn't happen often, but I can tell you this is a huge deal for us. So thank you so much for letting my team and all of us know that our work doesn't go unnoticed. It's greatly, greatly appreciated.
My name is Sade Moonsami, and I am the Deputy Director for Family Values at Work. Thank you so much for joining us for the 2022 GameChanger Awards. We are so grateful to have you celebrate and honor our leaders from across the country. This year, our network and its champions have continued to fight and win on paid leave, paid sick days, and childcare, ensuring working families have what they need to thrive. Our leaders are fighting across the country for policies that will enable families to care for themselves and their loved ones, no matter how they define their family. Our leaders are also building long-term movements that not only change policies, but change government structures that have not served our community's ability to thrive. I hope the power of family values at work and our network inspires you as much as it inspires me, because we need your support right now to keep on fighting for the care policies we all have the right to. We need your support to fund grassroots organizing and long-term movement building that will transform our country's values on care and impact each of our families. Donate today and be a part of our collective movement. Thank you again for coming to our 2022 GameChanger Awards.
Thanks so much. This is a great honor. You know, when the powers that be refuse to guarantee protections that working families need, they have a story to justify it. When it comes to caregiving, their story is, this is an individual issue. Take care of it on your own. We do fine. You should be able to also. And if you can't, that's life. There's nothing you can do about it. Our job as activists in a network like Family Values at Work is to flip that narrative. And we found that the most effective way is to lift up the voices of the people who are most impacted by the lack of leave. So people like Chris Garcia, for example, who wasn't allowed to be with his father when he was taking his last breath, and that was years before the pandemic. People like Tamika Henry, who tallied how much it's cost her and her family, $200,000 over a decade, in lost income and lost jobs because she had a husband with a disability. We've told those stories in storybooks, in graphics, in videos. We told it in a film, 0 Weeks, where that lifts up both the consequences but also the activism. So people like Keisha, who had cancer, who said, look, I can't heal if I can't rest, and I can't rest if I can't pay my bills. She helped win paid leave in DC. We've won it now in 12 states, and we're going to win it everywhere, paid leave for all that we need and deserve, because we've changed the conversation. Because unlike when we started 19 years ago, politicians today all have to say they support paid leave, even if they mean something different by it. We're going to, working together, win the changes we need, changing the culture and the policies. Thank you all so much for all you do.
Thank you for that great message, Ellen. It's hard to believe that nearly 2 years have passed since our founding, but I know the team is excited to mark our anniversary in 2023. But before we do that, I have another game changer to recognize. This year's business champion calls Vermont home. Please join me in congratulating the Healing Arts Massage of South Burlington, Vermont. Jessica Arancibia, the owner of Healing Arts Massage, played a crucial and active role in advocating for paid leave policy in Vermont, helping our coalition secure a major win with protected COVID paid leave provisions. Please join me in honoring everything Jessica and the Healing Arts Massage team have done for paid leave in Vermont.
First, I would like to thank Family Values at Work for presenting me with this award. A special thanks goes to Morgan Nichols and Main Street Alliance for motivating me to participate in becoming an advocate for paid family leave campaign and nominating me for the Game Changers Award. My name is Jessica Arancibia, and I own Healing Arts Massage in South Burlington, Vermont. I've been a licensed massage therapist for 10 years, and I specialize in therapeutic massage. I thoroughly enjoy being a part of the community and take a great pride in being a small business owner and a woman of color. My journey as an advocate began 2 years ago during the launch of my business. Upon speaking with Main Street Alliance, I realized my goals and values aligned with the work that was being done towards paid family leave. My husband and I had begun planning to have a child, and were actively having the important conversations around finances, childcare, and time off. I quickly realized I needed to raise my own voice in the matter and become involved if I wanted things to change. I never thought I would enjoy the work so much. Over these last 2 years, I have taken part in documentaries, virtual roundtables with our Lieutenant Governor, spoke at public rallies for Build Back Better, was featured in the local news highlighting my advocacy, and submitted an editorial in the local news outlet. I was motivated to raise my voice for others who deserved the security as well. Everyone deserves the ability to care for their child or loved one without fear of debt or losing their job. Everyone deserves access to affordable childcare. This year, I had to take a break from my advocacy because my husband and I were expecting a child. We welcomed our son Orion on August 30th of this year. We are so blessed and so in love with our son. Now, more than ever, my feelings around this work have become even stronger. I am actively on maternity leave, spending most of my day on my own, while my husband works so that we can pay bills and stay afloat. The inaccess to local childcare makes it impossible to consider an option. There are waiting lists for daycare, and the cost is more than our monthly rent. There's nothing like experiencing these hardships firsthand to really light a fire within you. Despite the current realities around paid family leave and childcare, I intend to continue to participate in any way I can to make a difference. Thank you again for giving me this platform to tell my story and continue to speak up for these important issues.
Thank you, Jessica, for all your impactful work, and congratulations on your 2022 Game Changer Award for Worker Activism. And congratulations to all our other recipients, Ellen, John from the Traders Union, and to all the other awardees so far. You all are doing incredible work that helps make amazing progress for working families and for the communities in the world that we want to see. We're about halfway through our ceremony, but we still have much to celebrate, and you will not want to miss out on our 2022 community champions who are coming up soon. With so many major accomplishments, we were compelled to give 2 community awards away this year, of course. You also don't want to miss this year's worker activist who hails from the great state of Colorado. Y'all, we've been through a lot these past few years, and somehow we are still here in our resilience and in community and in partnership. We've come through most of the way through this round of elections, and mostly it's looking good for our communities. We have incredible partners to thank for that, like Mothering Justice in Michigan and partners in New Mexico, 9 to 5 in Colorado and in Georgia, who are doing such incredible work. Without you all, our ability to make progress, to protect our families, to find time to rest and be with one another would not be possible. But first, we promised you some moving performances, and we are just about ready to deliver. In just a moment, you'll hear from our new friend Gabrielle with Speak It Forward, and in about 10 to 15 minutes from now, you'll hear from Linda Law, who will take the stage. But before I turn things over to Gabrielle, I want to just really reflect on the things that we've accomplished this year. And not only that, we get to look forward to 2023, which is our 20th year anniversary here at Family Values at Work. Where were you when you were 20, and what were you looking forward to? So just imagine how excited we are, and we are marching full force into 2023 with all of our power, all of our demand. We're grabbing our brothers and sisters to come with us, and we are going to win and make serious progress for ourselves and for our families, for the opportunity to rest, heal, and just be in community with each other. Because not only is it the right thing to do, it's exactly what we deserve. I hope you will join us for the rest of this year and join us in celebrating our 20th year anniversary next year. There'll be many opportunities to plug in. If not for a celebratory event, you should plug into the movement and join us, whether it's at your local level, at your state level, or joining us in making federal and national change. So to keep things moving, I'm going to kick it over to Gabrielle. Please, everybody, welcome Gabrielle from Speak It Forward.
Hey everyone, my name is Gabriel Jerome, and I am so honored to be here at the 2022 GameChanger Awards. I have spent a large majority of my career running a nonprofit called Speak It Forward, advocating for youth, vulnerable youth, at-risk youth, primarily in treatment facilities, juvenile homes, alternative high schools. I know that it is people who advocate for others that help change this world, but no change can come without being willing to take risks. And no risk can be taken without the chance of failure. And sometimes that's scary enough for people to not be willing to take that risk. So I want to honor all of you who are out there advocating to change this world for the better. And this piece is for you. If you haven't failed in life, you haven't lived. Because failure tells us that we've taken a risk, that we're still challenging our own limitations. It's only when you cross the boundary of your comfort zone that you begin to open the lid of who you are and rid yourself of the box that everyone tells you to think outside of. And history favors the risk takers. Only those who risk going too far can find out how far we can actually go. You'll never read about anyone throughout history who successfully inspired change because they followed the crowd, because they played it safe, because they cared too much about what other people thought about them. Remember that your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. It's only when you jump blindly from your nest that you can experience the act of flying. You just have to be willing to spread your wings and trust that you were meant to soar to heights you never thought possible from the comfort of your fear. Don't allow the things that scare you to keep you grounded. Instead, become like the Wright brothers after their first crash and be willing to collide into the dirt, to turn the toughest moments of your life into that burst of wind you need to get you airborne so that one day you can see what the bottom looks like from the clouds. And know that just because your eyes can't see past the horizon, it doesn't mean that the world ends at the sunset. They won't teach you this in school. You can't sign up for Failure 101, only audit and observe, so when you graduate, you can navigate the real world. The place where 99% of the things you will experience aren't taught. The place where you will find that the rules and lessons you learned in school don't apply. Because in school, the most successful students are the ones who make the fewest mistakes. But in life, the most successful professionals are the people who learn to turn their mistakes into masterpieces. Artists who have discovered that you can't really figure out how things work until you break them apart. And they'll probably call you crazy for your beliefs, because that's what passion inspires. It inspires the outrageous and the wild, and it turns the impossible into the incredible, like cell phones and spaceships, or sharing parts of yourself with complete strangers, and in the process, becoming friends. That's what happens when you take risks. Sometimes you create amazing things that change the world we live in, but often we fail. You have to, because mistakes are a part of the learning process. Success and failure, they hold hands. You just have to be willing to jump off the deep end, because pearls don't lie on the seashore. If you want one, you have to dive to the bottom and take it. It's only when you dig deep that you can plant the seeds that will grow into something strong and guarantee that when you wake up in the morning, you still feel alive. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter where you end. What matters most is what you do in between. The steps it took you to get to wherever you are now, and the times you got back up after you fell. So dust yourself off, start chasing your dreams, and start living a life that will leave you with a smile on your face and a strong heartbeat in your chest. And start that life today. Start by taking a risk. Start by learning from your failures, and start to appreciate the scars you have that remind you that you lived a life worth living. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sammy Chavin. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm Family Values at Work Federal Policy Coordinator. I work with our national network of partners and members of Congress to advocate for paid family and medical leave, paid sick and safe days, and affordable childcare. Family Values at Work and our network stay ready to win these policies. We rally, rain or shine, call, tweet, and meet with Congress regularly to raise our community's voices, and we need your help. Donating to Family Values at Work to support our federal advocacy helps us stay ready to win these policies and to co-conspire for the next Congress to make sure we all have the right to care.
Thank you, Sammy, for those wise words. We certainly do enjoy engaging with and winning with our national network of partners. We thank and appreciate those who are able to invest their treasure with us today. Speaking of winning as a network, our next award recognizes a community champion. Yet, with so much winning to celebrate this year, it was impossible to limit this award to just one organization. The past year, 2 state level coalitions have changed the game for countless families within their footprints. From their leadership and labor, Maryland and Delaware have become the 10th and 11th states to implement a paid family leave program. Please join me in recognizing and congratulating both the Maryland Time to Care Coalition and the Delaware Cares Coalition on a job well done.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Family Values at Work, for awarding the Time to Care Coalition with this great prestigious award. It has been a pleasure to serve as the campaign manager of the Time to Coalition, which is composed of multiple businesses, unions, nonprofits, religious organizations, and individuals that came together and advocated to bring paid family and medical leave to Maryland. The Time to Care Act was cross-filed as House Bill 8 and Senate Bill 275, and was sponsored by Senator Hayes and Delegate Valderrama, and it was passed during this 2022 legislative session and established a family and medical leave insurance program that guarantees nearly all Maryland employees the rights of up to 12 weeks of paid leave that is job protected, to bond with a new child, to care for a seriously ill loved one, or to deal with their own health needs, and or address needs in connection to military deployment. This was a long, hard-fought battle that took years to pass this legislation. So I want to thank all of those people who showed up to all of our events, to all of our coalition meetings, as well as all those people who joined us virtually. That means anything from joining, from writing testimony, or contacting your legislators throughout the session. Again, thank you all for all the support. It's great that so many Marylanders are going to have access to this new leave pool, and we look forward to continuing our work as a coalition over the coming years to make sure that paid family and medical leave is correctly implemented in Maryland. Thank you all and have a great night.
Thank you to Family Values at Work for this honor. My name is Liz Richards. This is Josephine, and I'm the director of the Delaware Cares Coalition. A little over a year ago, organizations from the health, faith, labor, and business community across our state joined together because they believed in one simple idea, that in life's most challenging moments and most joyful, no one should be forced to choose, between their job and their family. Passing paid family and medical leave in Delaware was historic, but it was not guaranteed. No, it was not. We had to fight for it, because as the world has changed, too often we have failed to change with it. And too often the burdens of that status quo have fallen to the most vulnerable among us. People struggling through illness, caregivers forced out of a job they love or away from a loved one who needs them, parents who return to work just after a couple weeks of giving birth, and mothers who put their bodies on the line because they had no paid family and medical leave. What made this victory so sweet to me is not just that paid leave is smart policy or the right thing to do. What made it so sweet is that the people who shouldered the burdens of an unfair status quo, caregivers, women, working people, people of color and survivors, and healthcare workers, people with disabilities, and so many more, were the ones who delivered this victory for all Delawareans. Thank you to Family Values at Work for your support along the way and for your recognition today. We really appreciate it. And together we are showing the nation that Delaware cares. And thank you, Josephine.
Congratulations once again to Maryland and Delaware. Your impactful work is sure to inspire other states to follow your lead. As to impactful work, our final award this year recognizes workers and the efforts that are changing the game in this space. For our Worker Activist Award, it is my pleasure to recognize Brandy Harrison of Colorado. Brandy is a mom, a caregiver, and a public school bus driver. While balancing that, Brandy is also working on building her own daycare business. She regularly volunteers with our network partner, 9 to 5 Colorado, who had this to say about Brandy. We really admire how Brandy decided to make organizing part of her life and just dove in. Even with so much on her plate, she continuously takes on new opportunities and grows in her leadership. Please join me in congratulating Brandy Harrison, our 2022 Worker Activist Champion. I want to personally thank you all for your time and continued commitment to family values at work. As we close out another year, another election, and another attack on democracy, we are charged to continue to build, love, and grow together. We are thankful to have you as our true support, friend, and network. We will always be network strong.
Hi, I really wanted to say thank you to Family Values at Work for giving me this award for Activist of the Year. I was nominated by Caitlin Altone. I had no idea that I was being nominated, and I really want to show my appreciation to her for nominating me and having such faith in me. I also want to thank Family Values at Work and 9 to 5 Colorado for standing behind me. It gives me a better sense of that I'm going in the right direction, and I really look forward to doing more and great things with both organizations. So once again, thank you so much for the award.
The birds are chirping. Baby says maybe, perhaps it means the rain is done. Many I speak to feel like the earth is healing herself. Nia says she's purging and we're all a part of it. The sound of odd laughter or a distant exchange, depending on the weather, depending on the day, are the more pleasant sounds that may cut through contaminated air and echo and wave, 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 wave. Don't shake. Those moments are seldom. It's mostly quiet humming now. More frequent are the sirens, even when chatting with friends and family. All this digital video correspondence is starting to make me feel unreal, like life is unreal. I hear the sirens in their backgrounds, in the distance, on Zooms, in this distancing. At first, it feels like regular, everyday New York City noise, but that's during the day, I guess. At night, the streets are empty enough for ambulances to pass through without ever blaring a siren, so that all I see from the street window are emergency lights. I think I'm finally getting used to the true sight of red, white, and blue as we wait for governments to send capital, trusting systems who've done us wrong for so long. It feels backwards to do more. My anxiety is so high lately. I'll think I got something stuck in my throat. My world, it moves so fast today. The past, it seems so far away. And life squeezes so tight that I can't breathe. Funny how we all can't breathe now. The quiet that has fell upon this city is almost deafening. How desolate it feels to no longer be busy, no longer be doing the most for the least, no more skipping meals, no more overworking, overcharging, overpaying, convening, parlaying, no more hanging out without a doubt that you will go home when you want to think our previous reality is now a mere dream. A privilege, some luck we will need if we think of how even to get back to something anything like it was. We're exploring more theory and spirit, bodies transmitted on boxes, my digits on phones and on clocks, ran out of moans, had to cop from a member of community who knew me for my work and my poetry. Girls looking out for the girls. I said, well, hell, if this is still Mother Earth and this earth is still God, then there's still some beauty. Octavia E. Butler taught me that we are seeds and that God has changed, so we can be that beauty. But how do you contain what is meant to grow wild? They say we adapt, we be still. We was always inside. We always been inside. boats, inside shacks, inside chambers, inside cages, inside houses, sometimes in darkness through night trying to stay camouflaged. We've been inside in the back of everything inside. This should be easy for what our ancestors have been through. My Jamaican priestess pastor told me that we come from good bones, we come from strength, we come from genocides. We determine what's next. Sometimes I find myself in the fridge forgetting what I opened it for, dazing, my mind in 20 places. My mind in 20 places. Grateful for food, grateful for laughter, dazing, worried for the future, saddened by death, dazing. Mirrors remind me how attached to superficial beauty I was. All those nights. All those nights I pushed to pull, to put on makeup and move through show. Now there's nothing I would love to do more. I wish we weren't such a fickle species, but then we wouldn't be hungry and full of knowledge perhaps and ideas and thought. I hear helicopters every now and again. They sent the same giant Navy they sent to PR when that hurricane hit. This big boat to save the city and provide a beacon of hope only to accept 3 patients. A boat probably bigger than the Intrepid, wider than this very silly American system, looking like a big Nurse Joy floating on in. My brother called me today. He's serving time at a state psychiatric facility upstate. Apparently he's been arrested again for assault and robbery. I still haven't gotten used to people asking about my family so much. It's such a touchy subject, though I'm grateful for the sentiment. As we lose so many of our elders, I've gotten so much better at not crying. After I get off the phone, I'm not even sure if he's aware of what's happening in the outside world. As long as they're alive, I will say they're fine, my brothers. I have hope that I will teach again. So to my brothers, know this femme cannot help you today. For better or worse, I must stand away because everything I had feels halted, dismayed. So I must conserve my energy for me. I don't see the humanity. I see genocide waiting on balconies, population control. We must remember that fear kept slavery going, so I will not stay inside. But I will keep my immune system strong. I shall find a new way to somehow belong in this new world as we know it. I will try to stay strong in soul and in my spirit. But I saw a man the other day, after I finally went to visit the house I grew up in that someone had forced my mother out of and taken. It was cleaned and gutted. Best I'd ever seen it. New appliances, counters, floors, everything. No furniture, but each room was a different color. The back was still broken open. Me and my boyfriend, we snuck in through the backyard, full of old tree stumps and cigarette butts. It feels nice to say. It used to be nice to say. Me and my boyfriend. But anyway, I cried about everything they threw away. All the memories I'll never have again. All the pain that happened. All the payments. All the history. All the debt. All the repairs. And we walked up Aqueduct through and through. And there was a man on 183rd Street blaring disco, piercing through the stillness. Thelma Houston, don't leave me this way. And I couldn't help but dance. And I danced forward past him, keeping my 6-foot distance, and I waved. And he screamed over and over, forget Corona, forget Corona, forget Corona. That's right, you dance. And we watched each other a while. He watched me as I danced away toward Fordham, looking backward at him play. Because all we could do was watch. It's like we wanted to touch because all we could do was watch. And not in a sexual way, just an embrace or a hug. Like we wanted to tell each other it's going to be all right. Or like we wanted to tell each other it's always been all right. Because we always been inside. Or like we just wanted to spin or bump or high five. Or maybe he did want to kiss me. Because maybe he hadn't kissed anyone in so long. Maybe he did want to hug me. Because maybe he hadn't hugged anyone in so long. I don't want to spend the rest of my life finding new ways to feel freedom after our ancestors fought so hard for it. But I guess nothing is promised or entitled. I walked by the Hudson River with my dearest friend Atifa. She gave me the name Linda. And she reminded me that hope is cute, but to believe is better.
Hi, everyone. Thank you again so much for joining us today. And I'd like to offer just a quick additional note of thanks to Linda for that very vulnerable and moving performance. My name is Tony Iovino, and I serve as Family Values' new individual giving manager. I have the awesome opportunity to find and co-conspire with values-aligned philanthropic investors who believe in a different, kinder, and more restful America. And the word believe was a very intentional choice. Because as Linda just reminded us, hope is cute, but to believe is better. A few months ago, I was struggling with that belief. Is systemic change possible? Can we affect deeply ingrained cultural norms? Is anyone out there actually operating so differently, so radically, and with proven results that I could personally move beyond that cute hope to a place of true belief? And then I found Family Values at Work, who today celebrates and honors those who have thought radically different to bring about real change. It is an honor to share the stage tonight with these incredible game changers. But I have a dirty secret tonight. On any given day, every single one of my colleagues are out there changing the game. This incredible collection of empathetic radicals for rest within both our internal team and scattered across a national network moved me from cute hope to true belief. So I believe Family Values at Work National Network will bring about paid leave for all. I believe we will bring about paid sick and safe days. I believe we will bring about affordable childcare. And my question for you after today, do you hope we can accomplish this, or do you believe it too? If your answer is yes, I'm asking you to invest in the people and the approach that you've witnessed here today. If you are able, please donate today and conspire with us as we create a kinder and more restful America. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you so much to my colleague Tony for that invitation to give and to get further involved in our work. My name is Makita, and I serve as the Communications Associate with Family Values at Work. We want to sincerely thank you for your attendance and celebrating along with us today. We also want to again thank all of our sponsors and supporters, including our special guests, Linda Law and Gabe Giron. Thank you for sharing your talents with us today. And finally, to our staff and our incredible network, thank you. We are changing the game day by day and action by action together. This was my first Game Changer Awards, and I know I will be leaving you here today more inspired than ever before. I sincerely hope you are too. We know there is more work to be done, but that simply means more celebrations are coming our way. So please continue supporting our team and our network throughout the coming year, and plan on celebrating with us once again in 2023 for our 20th anniversary. Thank you and have a wonderful rest of your day.